Well, they say Stadia doesn't have big AAA titles coming, and that it's nothing but indie games. Well, it's going to be time to dispel this myth and make a video showcasing all the brand new titles coming to Stadia in the next 6 months, as we got quite a few to list out here. We're not even going to include bigger but older games like Sekiro, as this list is only for games that are going to be new worldwide. With that said, please smash that thumbs up in support of this video so new people can see what games are coming for Stadia, as well as subscribe to this channel for all your Stadia and cloud gaming coverage. But let's start this video with the order of dates that are coming, and my best guess is for the ones that don't have dates. And we're going to start this video off with PGA Tour 2K21. It's coming August 21st to Stadia. It's going to be featuring 15 different courses, a career mode that will put you against the current golf elites. It's also touting complete realism with real-life courses that were scanned and inputted into the game. You'll also have the ability to pick this up and play with whatever your skill level is. And to top it off, it does have a fleshed out online and local multiplayer, so you can test your skills against other players. Now, the My Player also has thousands of custom options to really make your player stand out, as well as the ability to actually build your own dream course. The game looks to be pretty content rich, and it is going to be a welcome sports addition to the Stadia platform. Now, Madden NFL 21 is set to release on most platforms on August 25th, though no actual confirmation of the Stadia release date has been mentioned, so at the moment this will be a placeholder date. It's possible that we won't see this till later in the year. With that said though, this year is looking to feature a fleshed out face of the franchise Rise to Fame mode, where you can be immortalized. It is also set to feature something called X Factor 2.0, where certain players will have the abilities to raise their game and boost their skills, which makes them unique to their teammates. Madden this year is also set to have a more realistic open field tackling. We'll see how this one plays out, and if we get it on August 25th alongside all the other platforms, it will be a welcomed addition. In a world where we can't seem to get enough of those superheroes, we have yet another game making its way in Marvel Avengers. It's an action-adventure game played in third person. You'll be assembling your roster of heroes from Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk, Black Widow, Thor, and the story here is that the heroes are celebrating a new tech in Avengers headquarters when that celebration turns deadly as a mysterious new enemy causes a catastrophic accident which results in massive devastation. The Avengers are then blamed and are outlawed and on the run for 5 years. It's a very interesting story that is sure to bring lots of intrigue into this new franchise by Square Enix. Now, you can play this single player or co-op, and you can team up with up to 3 other players online to defend Earth from all its threats. The game will be receiving story updates over multiple years, so this game is a long-term investment and one that definitely has my interest. And to top that all off, there is a gear system, scaling difficulty, and customizable skills, so you will play differently from other heroes. This is a heck of a title and is set to release pretty soon here on September 4th on Stadia. Oh boy, here we go. NBA 2K21. I don't have much info for you guys because they don't release any information on this game until the last week before it's about to release. This franchise is really the only one that gets away with this nonsense. But what we do know is that there will be a current gen and a next gen. With the new hardware that comes out, it will see improved visuals for that next gen. Unfortunately, I don't think Stadia will be receiving these upgrades, but I'll hope for the best either way. Unfortunately, like I said, there is no info out for this game, but what you can expect is a literal copy like you do every single year, with maybe the only differences possibly being in a park change and some My Player mechanics. The basketball itself rarely changes, and it shouldn't, because that's actually a good formula, and we'll see what happens as this one is set to come out September 4th on Stadia. FIFA 21 is set to launch on October 9th on most platforms, though no word on a Stadia release date, and technically we don't know if we are getting FIFA 21 specifically. But for the sake of this video, I'm making what I feel is a pretty strong guess here that at the minimum FIFA 21 is coming to Stadia. But is it coming on October 9th is the mystery at the moment. There is really not much info on this new FIFA yet. There is a pre-order bonus and the fact that there is a next-gen FIFA that's going to be releasing on the new-gen consoles, but it's safe to say we are probably not getting that next-gen and we're getting the current-gen here as well. It's also set to come, like I said, in October, and we'll see if we do get it here on Stadia. Keep in mind though, I am speculating on all fronts, but I do expect to see a FIFA title by the end of the year, with hopefully cross-play on Stadia. Watch Dogs Legion will be making its way onto the Stadia platform on October 29th, and is set to take place in a fictionalized representation of London. A branch of hackers called DegSec are trying to combat an authoritarian regime that is taking control of the United Kingdom. In Legion, you'll be making your way through an open world with the ability to play and take control of multiple characters that you recruit across London to create a unique team that can liberate the city. The interesting part here is always you can permanently lose these characters in your playthrough, who all can have special unique abilities that can suit your team and your playstyle. Apparently there is thousands of people you can recruit who will have different types of abilities and a combination of different equipment. The game is also going to be featuring online co-op with up to 4 players. This is a game that I'm highly anticipating personally, and one that I think you guys will enjoy when it comes out for Stadia here soon. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be making its way into our living rooms on Stadia on November 17th, and this is easily one of the most anticipated titles of the year. In Valhalla, you'll be taking on the role of Eivor, a Viking raider who was raised on tales of battle and glory, and you'll be leading your fellow Vikings against the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. The game is set to offer a true Viking experience in a dynamic open world, with it taking place in England's Dark Ages, where you'll span the shores of Norway to the Kingdom of England. Now, the game is going to feature things such as growing your own settlements, raids on towns, and building your power and influence. With that said, the gameplay is slightly different with new fighting mechanics, but the gear and loot look to be unchanged from the previous title in Odyssey. Also, this one is also looking to be less of a stealthy assassination game and more upfront and personal. Either way, this is easily one of my most anticipated titles in 2020. Well, at this point, if you haven't heard about CYBERPUNK 2077, you might be living under a rock. It's an open world action adventure game brought to you by CD Projekt Red, the same makers of the Witcher franchise, and is set in a story in Night City, a megalopolis obsessed with power, glamour, and body modification. You play as V, a mercenary outlaw going after a one-of-a-kind implant that is key to mortality. Now, this is a first-person game that features a massive open world with a fully voiced story. The game features multiple stat categories like body, intelligence, reflexes, technical, and they are influenced by your character class, like Netrunner, a hacking class, the Techie that focuses on machinery, and Solo, which is a full combat character. There is perk trees that branch into weapon types, and a full host of customization that will ensure you're playing a whole different character than your friend. This is a title with so much story and customization and a fully open world that you're sure to spend so many hours enjoying this game, and early reviews of this one are in, and pretty much everyone is pretty blown away, though I wouldn't expect people to talk bad about it, as those that have gotten early access probably wouldn't say anything bad. I haven't anticipated a title like this one though in almost half a decade, and it's the game that I'm looking forward to the most on Stadia. The release date though is not exactly known, as though we don't have a specific date, but we have gotten quotes from CD Projekt Red to expect it by the end of the year in 2020. Hitman 3 is set to come on Stadia on January 2021 to kick off the new year with the conclusion of the World of Assassination trilogy. Agent 47 will be returning as a ruthless professional for the most important contracts of his entire career. Now, all 6 missions are meticulously detailed and packed with opportunities. You, the player, will have complete and utter freedom on how to complete your objectives, and the world around you will react to everything you do. The game offers so many ways to do objectives. You can play a level completely different than your last. Also, the things that you do in one mission will be carried over to the next, and it even goes so far as the progress that you make at Hitman 2 will carry over into Hitman Hitman 3, so you will want to play the previous iterations to continue the journey through the Hitman games. There's a lot really to look forward to with this one, and this is a franchise that I've loved since I was a kid, assassinating key witnesses and targets. My childhood was never more fulfilled when I played the Hitman series. I look forward to this game this upcoming January on Stadia. The newest title announced by Ubisoft, Far Cry 6, is set to release on Stadia on February 18th, and is the latest installment in the Far Cry franchise. Set in a battle-torn city, you are a guerrilla soldier looking to overthrow the dictatorship, who is played by Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad, the villain known as Gus Fring, who's an excellent actor. Info on this title at the moment is a bit scarce, but some are speculating the kid in the trailer is possibly Voss from Far Cry 3, and this is a possible prequel game. Keep in mind though that this is all speculation right now, and this is going to be running on next-gen hardware, so I hope this was one of those titles that does have those improved visuals on Stadia. While Outriders is set to come holiday 2020 for all the other platforms, Stadia will be seeing its release date a bit delayed and coming in 2021. Outriders, developed by People Can Fly and published by Square Enix, is bringing an entirely new franchise to the gaming world, and it has quite a familiar formula for one. To me, it's something that looks pretty comparable to Destiny. This is a 1 to 3 player co-op RPG shooter set in a dark and desperate sci-fi universe. Gunplay is definitely the biggest feature here, mixed with an RPG system that can set your character apart from others. With 4 unique classes, each with their own skill tree and playstyles, you will be scavenging the world and modding your gear and guns as you are on the pursuit of a diverse world, traversing through forests, mountains, deserts in the pursuit of a mysterious signal. When it finally does come to Stadia, I'll be looking forward to it next year. So another new franchise is coming next year to Stadia in Chorus, where you take control of Nara, once the Circle's deadliest warrior, but now their most wanted fugitive, on a quest to destroy the dark cult that created her. As Nara, you'll be an ace pilot commanding a sentient ship, where you'll be facing hordes of enemy starfighters, titanic battleships, and unknown void entities. You'll also be upgrading your ship, wielding devastating weapons, and you'll have abilities for the dogfights that you'll be encountering. This is probably one of the fastest paced dogfighting games I've seen, and it looks to have a good focus on both story and gameplay, and it is a full single player adventure experience. I'm looking forward to this title and seeing what it brings to Stadia next year. And with all these games just being some of the best AAA games announced for Stadia that are set to come in the next 6 to 8 months, you can be truly excited for the amount of games we're going to be getting our hands on with here soon. When I look down at this list, I honestly do wonder how I'm going to find the time, as I plan to dive into every single one of the games that were talked about here, and I look forward to that. With that said, let me know which games on this list you're looking forward to the most, which games you don't care for, and what titles you'll be buying on day one. Like always, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel as well, so you can see coverage of all these games on Stadia here first. Hit that notification bell as well, as I am your dude for all your Stadia coverage. I'm Sunny, and I'll see you guys in the cloud.